Okay, I'm Adam.
I'm Dan, and we are both wearing shirts that are inappropriate for this movie.
Yes. I think like one of us would have worn a Marvel shirt or
Yeah, something.
We saw Thor Ragnarok. That's what we're here to talk about.
And it was fantastic.
When at the beginning of this year, of all the movies I was looking forward to, it's like number 1 was Star Wars, number 2 was Blade Runner, number 3 was Guardians of the Galaxy, and then like after that, like everything was kind of like a mixed mash of like, I might see that, I might see that. Thor Ragnarok. Thor Ragnarok was really the 4th film I was most looking forward to. And the reason for that is just because the trailers made it look great.
Yeah.
I mean, the trailers, I guess I'll start by saying that I think I've explained this in the Spider-Man review we did. I am not the biggest fan of the MCU films.
Right.
That's not to say that I think DC does it better or anything like that. I don't. But I'm just not the biggest fan of them. There's lots of people I know who are MCU fanboys who think every MCU film when it comes out is fucking gold, okay? And it's like, I'm one of those people where it's like, you love it, that's completely fine. I'm not going to get an argument with you because I don't like it as much as you do. But, it's just that when you're ignoring these flaws and then you come to me, then agree with the flaws, then don't sit there and give it a 10 or a 9.
Yeah.
It's not that. If it has those many flaws, it shouldn't get that type of score.
Right.
Either way, I'm not a giant fan of it. And Thor, to me, was, without a doubt, the weakest of the MCU films. The first Thor and the second Thor. I don't know if you ever saw the second one.
Still have not seen the second one.
Okay, you're not missing much. A third Thor movie, I was like, I don't give a shit about, okay? But then when they showed the trailers, and it's like, there's fucking Hulk, and it's like, we're taking some stuff about Planet Hulk, like, we're throwing shit in from Planet Hulk, which, to me, begs the question, why don't you just do a fucking Planet Hulk movie?
That would
be great. It's been a while, I know the last, Hulk movie didn't do very well, but, if you do a Planet Hulk film, that might actually be pretty badass.
Yeah.
But they throw up some stuff. Okay, we got Hulk in it. We got fucking Thor in it. We got fucking Jeff Goldblum, and I was sold.
Yeah.
As soon as you say Hulk and then you say Jeff Goldblum, I'm fucking there. I paid good money to see Independence Day 2 just for Jeff Goldblum. I will go see anything Jeff Goldblum's in. Beyond reason. Within reason, I will go see something he's in. But, if he's in the next Saw film, I ain't seen it. But, anyway, so I was really looking forward to it because it looked like they took the whole thing in a new direction. It was what I wanted. It was Thor in Thor's world, in the universe. It essentially looked and felt like the trailers felt like it was Guardians of the Galaxy, but without the Guardians.
Yeah.
We got Thor, we got Hulk. But it was in that same
It was
vein.
Thor doing Thor comic book stuff where, he had plenty of adventures on Earth too, but every once in a while, he would just, wait, I'm the mighty Thor. I'm a god. Asgard, exists in this world kind of, with links to everything in the universe. I'm going to go explore that. And he would do that. And he'd meet aliens and he'd fight, cosmic beings. And that was the whole thing. It's because he's Thor, he can do that. And that's what we have here.
Yeah.
And it's great. And what I like about this movie is that, we were talking about this, is that it's one of the funnier of the Marvel movies, period.
No, I was gonna say not just Marvel films. It's the funniest film of the year.
Yeah.
Out of all the films I saw this year, and I loved Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, and I thought that was fucking funny. This is the funniest film of the year. I didn't fucking laugh I haven't laughed this hard in theaters in a long time. And it was fucking, they were on their A game. It was every fucking scene had a fucking chuckle.
Yeah.
At least. And some people are like, I don't want that. No, don't give me just nothing but comedy. But it fucking works.
That's that's the thing. They made it work. It's it's not like the comedy detracted from things like it made you feel the action scenes less or anything.
Yeah.
When it was an action scene, the comedy was a garnish.
Kate Blanchett as Hela was fucking great. She was fantastic. She gets a little bit of exposition-y, but it's needed because she has to explain who she is because we never knew anything about her until today.
But the thing is, I like that they worked that in.
Yeah.
That's actually a plot point.
Yeah.
That she's been hidden because of how powerful she is.
Yeah.
And that if people know about her, it's going to cause problems. And they work that in, and then there's parts where they almost make her fall into the common Marvel trope of the villains get a little too jokey and like funny and and again where like you almost don't take them seriously.
Yeah.
But then like it's immediately followed by a scene where she like obliterates the armies of Asgard.
Yeah.
And like, okay, you have to take her seriously because these are literal gods that she just destroyed.
And like I didn't have any doubts she would be great in it. I love Mark Ruffalo as the Hulk. Even though
man.
I know people who are still for some reason like Ed Norton fans, and I don't understand it.
Ed Norton did a great job, but Mark Ruffalo has also done a great job.
He is.
And he has some moments in this movie.
Oh, my God. Like,
A+.
Like, the funny thing about him is that, like, firstly, he's just the Hulk, mostly, okay?
Yeah.
But then, like, eventually he does turn back into Bruce Banner, and it's explained that ever since Ultron, ever since Age of Ultron, he has been Hulk for 2 years. 2.5 years he's been Hulk. He has not reformed back to Bruce Banner at all until this movie. And, like, when he reverts back to Bruce Banner, and the scenes he's in with Thor, he fucking steals every scene he's in, because he's fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
Because he's essentially being neurotic, and he's freaking out. And, like, my favorite part was, like, Thor at one point tells him to calm down, and he's like, he's just like, I haven't been out in 2.5 years. Like, what are you talking about? And I'm on a different planet.
Yeah. And, like, the thing is, like, some of it is played for, or a lot of it is played for comedy.
Yeah.
And, like, and like like they don't really get into like the big dichotomy of him. But one, it's not his movie.
No.
And two is like there are the little hints of it though. Like there's the one part where he turns to Thor and he goes, "Look, you don't understand. The whole time I've been the Hulk. Like usually it feels like both me and the Hulk both have a hand on the wheel.
Yeah.
This time it felt like Hulk had the keys and he locked me in the trunk.
Yeah.
I'm terrified that if I become Hulk again, I'm never coming back.
Yeah.
And it's a brief moment that is then followed immediately by comedy. But, like, he does such a good job with that moment that you feel it, and it's like, this has to come up in other movies, and it's going to probably be devastating when it does, because he does such a good job exploiting it, even amidst all this big action and this comedy, that he still gets this one moment that you're like, ow, that actually kind of, that feels bad.
Yeah, his performance is great. Chris Hemsworth as Thor is fucking great.
Oh,
like this is
he's at the top of his game in this movie, man.
Like he has come a long way as an actor.
Yeah.
He really has. And in this one, and this is sixth time now
Thor.
playing Thor.
Yeah, it's his third full
like
movie as Thor. But
it's his first. Yeah, I think it's like his fifth fifth time now playing Thor. And like he's got the character now down pat. Like he knows exactly how Thor is, and he's fucking hilarious. Like almost every scene with him. Like I said, this movie was fucking funny from start to finish. Like not to say there aren't the serious moments, or anything like that, but it's funny.
Yeah.
And then like there's there was a thing I heard where like the guy who directed it said that like 80% of the dialogue is ad-libbed, which like at first I like don't believe. Almost, but like at the same time, it's like I kind of believe it because I don't think Marvel, because I really don't think Disney and Marvel would okay a script that was nothing but yucks.
Yeah,
like I'm pretty sure.
And I'll tell you right now, what I believe was almost 100% ad-libbed was every word out of Jeff Goldblum's mouth.
Oh yeah,
because we talked about Mark Ruffalo doing a great job, Kate Blanchett, Chris Hemsworth. I mean, all the characters do fine, but Jeff Goldblum is this movie.
Yeah, he's... And the worst part, and the thing about it is, like, I almost want to say he's not in it enough. But maybe he is in it just enough.
From a storytelling perspective, I feel like he was in it exactly as much as he needed to be.
Yeah.
Like,
but if you went through
everything he does
Jeff
is so
Goldblum
good. Yeah, like, everything he does is so good, there's the part of you that wants more. Like, from a storytelling perspective, it's probably fine, but... My God, every moment he was on screen, I was smiling. And the biggest laughs I had were just the things he said and the little mannerisms he had.
Like, now here, here's the thing, like, he was a great performance, okay? And you're saying he's the one that made you laugh the most. The one that made me laugh the most
I know you
I forget the character's name. Yeah. Cork, yeah. And I don't know who plays him, but he's this rock monster, okay? But when it comes to the ad-libbing, I am 100% sure everything this guy said is ad-libbed. I am convinced that this guy in the original script was probably just supposed to be a little Easter egg or a throwaway character, but whoever they got to play him just fucking went with it and just made some of the funniest fucking dialogue in this movie.
He was great too.
He was great because the action scenes in the movie are fantastic.
Oh man,
I mean,
the big, it's in the trailer, so it's not a spoiler at all. The big fight between Hulk and Thor.
Oh yeah,
it's just fantastic.
It's just fantastic. It's funny. It's filled with like real little. My favorite part was the part where like they're about like halfway through a battle and Thor just goes, "You're embarrassing me. I just told these people we're friends."
Yeah.
And my favorite thing is like the part where Thor breaks through the thing and it's revealed that, or not Thor, I'm sorry, the Hulk breaks through the thing and it's revealed that the champion is the Hulk.
Yeah.
And you get that moment that we see in the trailer, so Thor's like, "Yeah!" But the part they didn't show is the trailers, and then they cut to Loki and Loki just goes, "I gotta get off this planet."
Yeah.
Because like, he immediately is like remembering like what happened to him the last time he saw him.
Oh yeah, and then the other part where like Hulk takes Thor and does the like just swinging him back and forth on the ground, and Loki jumps up and he's like, "Yeah, that's how it feels."
Like that part is great, and I don't know. The one that I did like about this movie is that I never understood before this film. I never understood the fascination with Loki.
Yeah,
I don't get it. And when people, whenever I question it, I always go with, well, I think the fascination of Loki is the fact he's the only Marvel villain that they did not fucking kill off.
Yeah, he's recurring.
He's in more than one movie, and like this is the movie that made me a fan of Loki.
Yeah,
and made me a fan of not just the performance, but like the character. And made me a fan of the character because he has he has an arc and a redemption as well, in a way. Yeah. Now, I'm pretty sure when we get to the next movies, he's going to go back to being the guy of mischief that he is. But for this film, at least, he does have an arc, and he does actually pull it off very well. And my favorite part is that there is a part where, like, he's helping Thor, but then he ends up backstabbing him. But the best part is, like, Thor's onto him now.
Yeah, and see, that's the part I wanted to bring up, too, because like technically Thor kind of lays out like the moral of the the moral point of the film, and like he kind of lays it out, and like normally that's a bad thing, but like it works in the moment because he's explaining to Loki like, look, you're my brother, I can't hate you, but like you're just you and I'm trying to move on, and like I don't want to say it because it was actually a good point in the movie, so I don't want to say it word for word, but you're you, and I don't just want to, and I'm trying to move on and become something better. And, and like, especially given the stakes of the movie, like, he has no choice. Like, it's him now. He's in charge. And, like, he's trying to do this.
Is, Carl Urban's character.
Oh, yeah.
Who even him, as small of a character he is, still plays a big role in the movie. Yeah, because he has an arc.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's like his arc. You see his arc coming. To be fair, it's pretty obvious.
So yeah, plus if you read the comic books and shit like that. Yeah,
well, yeah, the whole thing is like it's Carl Urban, so he does it well, and and there's comedy in it, but again, that comedy doesn't take away from when he finally gets it.
No, but that's what I'm saying. He's a perfect example of being a comedic character, essentially, but yet having this great emotional arc, where like he ends up essentially being a bad guy and then turning into a good guy. Essentially, so, he learns to be what it is to be a warrior. Essentially, and like that's a great moment in the movie when he actually does that. But the only negative I really have for the movie, there's two. And one isn't really a big one that I have a problem with, and that is the fact that, like, Doctor Strange literally only has, like, a 5-minute cameo for the movie.
Half of it was exactly what we saw in the scene at the end of his movie.
And for the fact that, like, Marvel and people made a giant deal about
about him being going to be in Thor.
And, like, it's like, no, he's really only in it for, like, 5 minutes. Now, the scene he's in is great. It's fine. But essentially, the only thing I don't like about it is the fact that, like, A, he's only in the movie for 5 minutes, and B, it's essentially just to provide this plot hole that they need to fill of where is Odin. Yeah. And that's essentially all he's there for. And it's like, it just feels like you really didn't need him in there. He's only in there just for the purpose of, hey, let's throw in another Marvel character in here, because, we need to remind people, Doctor Strange. Doctor Strange is also in this universe. We need to put him in something before the fucking big showdown. Like, that's what it felt like. And, like, it just felt kind of... Even though as good as it was, it felt tacked on. But my biggest complaint to the movie is the treatment of Odin. Because and again, like, I'm not a fan of the first two movies at all. And shit like that. I made that abundantly clear. But Odin was consistent in all of them. And to have a guy like Anthony Hopkins playing Odin... and to know how big of a character Odin is in the comic books and how important he is to the Thor mythos and all this shit.
Yeah.
And in this film, he's essentially, again, spoiler alert, I guess, but like I think people should know this. He dies.
Yeah.
It's the first fucking 20 minutes of the movie. He ends up dying, and it's treated like it's supposed to be a touching moment.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's this big realization, but like it should be that. Is what I'm saying. It should be this big moment, but it's not really done very well.
No,
to the point where
I didn't really
like
feel anything.
Because I remember as it's happening, I turned to you and I was like, "Wait, is Odin dying?" And you just looked at me like, "Yeah, I think so." Like that.
Yeah.
Like it was like, "Oh, like okay." Because he doesn't make it very clear that like he's dead or something like that. He doesn't really make it very clear.
He keeps talking about like my time is over and like my life was the only thing holding her back.
Yeah.
And then and then he like fades away into energy, which felt very like Kung Fu Panda weirdly, but but
so he does anything. Like he just
but the problem
just disappears.
But like the real problem was that like they didn't really establish the why.
No,
like he says my time is up, like it's happening. And then he just goes, and like in the first movie, they do establish that like they're not technically immortal. Mm-hmm. They just age super slow and have abilities far beyond humans. But like they're not technically immortal, and like so eventually he would die. But like the other thing was like in the first movie, he goes into the Odin sleep, and then he wakes up rejuvenated because that's what it's for. And like there's no hint prior to this moment that he is reaching the end. That he's going to die soon. Like it would be one thing if like you saw like a deterioration over time of like his powers are leaving him or something, but like no, in this one he just sort of it just happens and he knows somehow, but like it comes out of nowhere.
It does, and like the whole thing is like it just feels like it should have been made up more of a bigger deal, but it unfortunately just kind of falls. It's just not handled the best way, and that's my only biggest problem with the movie. And it's like my other problem,
for so many great moments and so very few like bad ones or negative ones, I'm gonna give it again an 8 out of 10. Okay. It wasn't like I might have actually liked this better than Guardians 2, to be brutally honest. Mm-hmm. It's not quite enough to like reach a 9 or a 10 for me. But man, this was a fun movie. I enjoyed it. Please, if you're one of the few people that don't watch Marvel movies nowadays, please go see it in theaters, where you will definitely get the soundtrack and everything in the surround sound and a nice big screen. It's a very colorful movie is the other thing. And so that's 8 out of 10. Like, absolutely go see it. It's as big as it needs to be.
Like, I agree with you 100% with everything you said.
Yeah.
It's as if, like, with the third Thor film and the other two being what they are. Yeah. Like, again, I don't think they're terrible films, but there's not really good films.
Yeah, they're pretty average.
It's almost as if, like, I don't want to use the same, like, the old analogy of, it's a fucking, LeBatter getting 2 fucking strikes and then hitting a home run. It's not quite that, but it's just fantastic to see, essentially, a franchise or a series of films that starts. It's very rare you see a series of films that start off not that great but then end fantastically. Yeah. And the best analogy I could use for that, or example I could draw to, is the Wolverine trilogy.
Yeah.
Where the first 2 Wolverine films are not very good at all, but then you got fucking Logan which is fucking fantastic.
Yeah.
It's like that, and like Chris Hemsworth is great. Fucking Mark Ruffalo as the Hulk is great. Jeff Goldblum is fantastic. All the characters are fucking great. Everyone gets their own little moments and then some.
Yeah.
Okay? This film was, from start to finish, fun.
Yes.
And entertaining and funny as hell. And it's like, when it comes to me spending money to go see a movie, as I said before this review, that's what I want. It's all around the perfect example of what I really want from a movie when I go see something. I loved every little bit of it. It, for a character who, like Thor, who I didn't give a shit about before, now I fucking love. He's one of my favorite characters now. Loki, who I didn't give a shit about before, never understood the appeal of him. Now I get it. I like him a lot. And that's the thing that is really special about this film, because it changed my mind on a lot of things. Just maybe loved Hulk even more. Special effects are fantastic. as I said before, the characters are great. Hela is a fucking fantastic villain. Probably, in my personal opinion, probably one of the best villains so far in the MCU that they have done. Without, with like, I don't know how they're going to do Thanos, but so far I'd say she's the best villain out of any of the villains I've seen in any Marvel movie.
Yeah.
Everyone from, fucking, Iron Man, fucking Captain America, fucking Ant-Man, all those films, Hela is the villain, in my opinion. She was fucking fantastic. Kate Blanchett did really great for that role. I personally, I can't help but give it, I can't give it anything lower than a 9. It's a 9 out of 10 for me, which is surprising because, like, that's now 6 films I've given a 9 this year. That's the most I've given in a while, which essentially means to me this is a good year for movies. Yeah. And the funny thing is 3 of those 9s are now comic book films. Yeah. Because I gave a 9 to Logan, I gave a 9 to Guardians of the Galaxy. Now I'm giving a 9 to Thor. And the only other 3 films I gave a 9 to was Blade Runner's Mother and Baby Driver. Yeah. So, like, these are 6 films that are going to be fucking fighting and clawing on my top 10 list. Like, when it comes to the end of the year to make a top 10 list, I'm going to have the hardest of fucking times to make one, because there's a lot of these films I absolutely love. And the thing about with Thor is the fact that, like, again, this is the 3rd comic book film I saw that I gave a 9 out of 10. And, like, we had Wonder Woman, I gave that a 7, and I gave Spider-Man a 7. It's a good year for comic book films too. It's like every comic book film I saw this year was really good. That segues into, we'll be back with Justice League, and we'll see how well the comic book movies go, because that's going to be the next thing we're going to review.
You asked me in the car when we were coming home from, I think it was this.
Yeah.
Like, so how are you looking forward to Justice League? And my response was, I mean, I'm going to be there with you, because it's our duty as nerds, but I'm not looking forward to it.
So... That's it. So to recap, he gives Thor Ragnarok an 8. I give it a 9. I guess I liked it a little bit better than he did.
But fantastic.
But still fantastic movie that we of course recommend everyone should go see. Pay money, see this in theaters. It is fucking fantastic. That's gonna be it, I guess, for this. Please thumbs up the video if you liked it. Please subscribe to our channel if you want to see more movie reviews where you rant and rave and look forward to depressing futures. Please leave a comment to let us know what you thought of Thor Ragnarok. I can't imagine too many people's opinions is going to be that much different than ours, because this movie is getting a very good score on Rotten Tomatoes as we speak. And that'll do it for this video. Again, we will be back with Justice League. Yeah. Which I am like in a very bizarre, like, morbid curiosity way looking forward to.
Just like, what are they going to put us to this time?
Like, I'll never forget, like, when we went to go see Batman v Superman, I'll never forget, like, we went with my wife, Kendra, and we're in line waiting to get into it, because I think, like, they were still cleaning the theater, and, like, I was sitting there chewing on my popcorn. You might have had a snack, too, or something like that. We're waiting to get into the theater, and me and you are essentially cracking jokes about why, like, how this is going to be the most awful thing we're going to see all year or something like that. We're essentially cracking jokes at how it looks terrible. I'll never forget, she turns to me and just goes, "Then why the fuck are we seeing this?" Like that. And I looked at her and I just went, "You wouldn't understand." like, unfortunately, like as nerds and as comic book geeks, along with just being movie geeks, like, it's our sworn duty to go see these movies. Like, unfortunately, it's like, if Steel was released today, we'd go see it.
That's a scary thought, man. But we would. No, I mean, it's true, but
like,
it's
the only reason I
thank God that came out decades
before.
Like,
the only reason I did see Steel years ago was because I was a kid and I had no money. I had no means to go see it on my own. I was dependent on my parents. So when I asked my mom, "Can we go see Steel?" She's just like, "Fuck that." She's like, "Do you fucking go see fucking Kazam? Fucking beat up people in a steel suit? No." So...
Which is just one last thing, because we're already harping on Justice League. Why not? I remember when we were going into Thor, there were people coming out of either that show or one of the ones across the hall, but they were coming out and they passed a big standee for Justice League. And I heard people, I literally heard a person say, "Oh man, Justice League, I can't wait to see that. That's going to be so good." And Adam wasn't there, so I had to walk over to him and go, "I just heard a person say they were looking forward to Justice League. The poor fools."
Like, yeah. Just fucking. Yeah.
Anyway, thank you for watching. Sorry to go on such a tangent.
I was gonna say that, like I bet that guy also went to the fucking sports books. It went like, put fucking hundreds on Conor McGregor, you know?
Yeah.
like yeah, like I bet that's the same asshole.
Yeah.
That's gonna be it. I'm ending it here. It's went on long enough. Again, we'll be back in a few weeks with Justice League.
Yeah.
So, take care.